please rise and move your hats. Veterans render a hand salute as the Tennessee Highway Patrol Honor Guard from Nashville, Tennessee presents our nation's colors. And now, please join us as United States Air Force Chief Master Sergeant Mark Holling leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing as Billy Maulding of Motor Racing Outreach offers tonight's invocation.
Heavenly Father, gracious God, we just pause for a few moments here to recognize your sovereignty in our life, Lord, and the many blessings. We pray for these drivers tonight, teams, officials, Lord. I pray for the fans, Lord, that we would all just have a safe, good time tonight, Lord. Father, as always, we pray for the men and women that are defending our freedom around the world. Here at home, Lord, protect, watch over their families. And Lord, tonight especially, remember the folks in Louisiana. Bless them and watch over them. Now may your peace and your presence surround us all. It's in your holy name I pray. Amen.
Here to perform, God Bless America. Please welcome national recording artist from Raiding the Country Vault, Danielle Peck.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. My home, sweet home. God bless America. My home, sweet home.
And here to honor America for the singing of our national anthem, please welcome the children of Motor Racing Outreach, accompanied by Danielle Peck.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bursting air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Race fans, are you ready? Bristol, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world with dedication to the armed forces of the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
On behalf of all the great team members at Bass Pro Shops and all those who love the great outdoors we're so proud to serve, welcome to the Bass Pro Shops NRA Great American Night Race at Bristol. Drivers, start their engines! Woo!
Roll across the top of your screen as far as where everyone's starting tonight. And let's talk with one of the drivers, the driver that mans the number 4, Kevin Harvick. Let's see if we can chat with him.
Hey, Kevin, it's Jeff up in the NBCSN booth. You with us? Kevin, there's been a lot of talk about the changes made to the racetrack. Can you tell us what to expect tonight?
Well, I witnessed and watched one of the best races that I've seen here in a long time last night. I think, you know, it's probably going to be a little bit slick on the bottom for a couple laps. I think that stuff will wear down as the night goes. I think the bottom will be the preferred lane the first half of the race, and then probably the top. But I still think there'll be enough grip down there to make passes and move around better than you have in the past for sure.
Well, we certainly wouldn't expect for you to give any secrets away, but how do you know which lane you want to run in?
I'll tell you in about 100 laps. You know, I think that's going to develop as the night goes on. I think it's going to change. You know, at one point you're going to see the 42 car making ground up on the top. I'm sure you'll be the first one up there to find the speed, and then everybody else is going to follow. So, got to be picking and choosing. But I think our Busch Beer Chevy has been good in practice, and it's going to be a fun night.
Kevin, thanks for taking time. We'll be watching. Good luck.
Thank you.
We're going to ride along with Kevin and a few other drivers this evening. One of those being the 15 of Clinton Boyer. He has the 5-hour Energy in-car camera on board. He starts 31st. Just chatted with Kevin Harvick in the 4. He has the Busch Beer onboard camera starting 24th tonight. Casey Mears in the 13 has the Geico in-car camera, and he will start 21st. Starting 17th with the Smithfield onboard camera is Eric Almirola. Chris Buescher, currently 31st in points, has the Sprint in-car camera and will start 12th this evening. Ryan Blaney, noting the colors of Virginia Tech with the Ford onboard camera, starting 4th tonight. And Denny Hamlin up in the front row, starting 2nd, has the Toyota onboard camera. See what he can do with that front row starting position tonight. Great view from up top. The aerial coverage provided by our partners at Smithfield Foods. Let's go to Dave Burns.
And Rick, remember, they put a substance on this track to enhance grip in the low lane. It is rosin. It's a form of resin, which is sticky stuff that comes from pine trees, basically. The whole idea, though, is they broomed some more of that powdered product into the track this morning to try to get it race ready so that the lower groove would be as fast as the high groove. Biggest question we've seen, even though rain may have not washed away all of it, is how long will it last tonight?
There will be a competition caution at lap 60 this evening. They can come to pit road. They just cannot add fuel before lap 60.
I think it's pretty interesting. Carl Edwards has picked the bottom lane right here. We've seen, even though that rosin is on the racetrack, we've seen without heat in that rosin that it's very, very slick. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they drop the green flag.
They're about to do just that. The lights are off on the pace car. 2x2, 20 rows deep, 40 cars, all fighting for position. Bristol Motor Speedway being led around the track right now by Joe Gibbs Racing drivers Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin as they work their way through 3 and 4 on the 24 to 28 degree banking. Crowd on their feet, anticipating, bumping and banging from Bristol. Green flags in the air. We're racing in Bristol. The 11 of Denny Hamlin, a great start. He gets to the outside of that 19. And Denny Hamlin takes the lead away from Carl Edwards early. Sparks flying as he's rubbing the ground on the right side.
Chase Elliott, who started 6th, always worked himself up to 2nd. At top lane, the same thing we saw last night. The top lane at the initial start of the race is better.
Denny Hamlin just turned a lap of 15.3 seconds, his 2nd lap run. Clean racetrack in front of him. Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, and Ryan Blaney, the top 5. Ryan Blaney trying to get by Matt Kenseth. Kenseth looking to the bottom.
And that's what we're going to watch all night, Rick. The combination of do you run low, do you run high. That's a great onboard Ryan Blaney. You see to the left, the 20 of Matt Kenseth appears in the screen. He got a great run off the bottom of the racetrack.
Bottom line working right now. Look at Matt Kenseth pulling away from Ryan Blaney. The lower groove is working.
This 20 of Matt Kenseth, watch when he goes in those left side tires, hook that dark bottom of the racetrack, really change direction well, allows him to get on the power, try to drive up to the left of the 18 car.
We anticipate this bottom lane getting better the more they run in it because it seems like it's heat activated. It likes to get hot. And as these tires run in that, it puts heat into it. So we think it's going to get better. The question is, how long will it last?
Saw Ryan Blaney make the pass on Matt Kenseth. He's using the lower line, and it's working.
And he's really low, Rick. Watch this 21 car as he enters the corner, right down along the apron. But that time, Kyle Busch saw what was happening and went down to the bottom lane to block.
Chase Elliott looking to the inside for the lead. Denny Hamlin up high. Chase Elliott's going to take the lead away from Denny Hamlin. That bottom groove working. Chase Elliott clears him and leads at Bristol.
You see Carl Edwards behind him trying to follow him. Got so loose, missed the bottom. Chase Elliott did. Now Denny Hamlin's making a run back on him.
Elliott goes up a little bit too high. Can't hook that left side. And now it's Denny Hamlin back to the front. Fighting back on the outside. Chase Elliott making the middle of the track work for him.
He needs to get a good run on corner exit right here.
Oh, up the track goes Denny Hamlin.
That opened the door for Chase to get back to the bottom right here.
Kyle Busch also takes the second spot away when Hamlin shot up the racetrack. So Kyle Busch now on the back bumper of Chase Elliott.
This shot right here really shows it. This is off the front bumper of the 11. Look how dark the racetrack is right there. That's all grip. That's that resin we're talking about. But you have to get your left side tires in it. We've seen drivers miss it, and they go up the track, Marty.
And that's exactly what happened to Denny Hamlin, Steve. He told me before the race, it's so sensitive. You actually have to be below that line, onto that black part of the surface. And Jeff, you know as a driver, that's very counterintuitive to what you've learned here over the past few years at Bristol. But you've got to be almost down on that apron, on that asphalt patch, to make that low line work, to make the car hook around the corner. Okay?
And just completing the 14th lap, the fans showing their respect to Tony Stewart, making his final Bristol start tonight in the number 14. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, 1 and 2. Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, 3, 4. Running 5th, Carl Edwards. Matt Kenseth is 6th. All 4 of the Joe Gibbs Racing cars in the top 6 right now.
47 A.J. Allmendinger making a nice move on the 22 of Joey Logano, trying to get him up off the bottom of the racetrack. Joey fights back to get in front of him, though, and take the position.
So many of the fans were asking for a single groove racetrack. They like to see the bump and run, to move a guy out of the way. Well, right now, the bottom of the racetrack is working for everybody that can stay down there, but they've got to hook their left side tires on that rosin.
And we've already seen several drivers racing for the lead make small mistakes and cost them a lot of spots.
Way up the racetrack goes the 19 of Carl Edwards. Matt Kenseth fighting for position just in front of them. Martin Truex Jr., the Bass Pro Shops number 78, making the move to the inside of Carl.
He's looking for the grip up there that he's familiar with as he just went back down to the low side, Rick. I talked to Carl right before the green flag. I said, are you going to take the inside line to start? He goes, yeah, I think it'll be grippy. But if it's not, I'm going to have to start searching around. And you can see he's seen that his competition runs well down there, but he had to find his car in the top groove.
Well, Rick, that's the key. We're going to hear that word all night long, searching around, because just because the bottom may be better right now at lap 21, we still have 479 laps to go. That groove is going to continue to move around.
Side by side, the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. able to clear the 58.
See Jeff Gordon running in 8th. You know, I think the bottom line is an advantage to Jeff Gordon. He's won so many races, but most of those races were when the racetrack was a bottom groove racetrack. So I think Jeff Gordon coming back from retirement, sitting in this race car at Dale Jr.'s, I think this bottom line is advantageous to Jeff.
Hendrick, as a team, has led only 1 lap in the 7 races prior to tonight, and Chase Elliott and a young one, Ryan Blaney, have been running up front until just now when Kyle Busch has been able to take away the lead from young Chase Elliott. Now it's Elliott and Ryan Blaney nose to tail, second and third. Kyle Busch out in front at Bristol. Get the latest NASCAR news, results, and highlights delivered straight to your inbox. Never miss a story or last lap pass by subscribing to the official NASCAR newsletter today. Visit NASCAR.com/newsletter. Caution has come out. Rain in turn one. And it's going to be throughout the track here in just a moment. There is a cell that's passing through. And so the caution has come out for precipitation as the fans are throwing their rain gear back on. So it was Kyle Busch who was able to make the pass and take away the lead from Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott led 14 laps. Kyle has led 10 and Denny Hamlin 8 as there have been 32 laps complete. With the caution, the free pass going to the 15 of Clint Boyer. We just saw that car make its way around the pace car. Brought the cars onto pit road and the teams are covering them up. Some of the drivers have already climbed out. Let's take a look at some replays already of the 38 laps that we have seen completed.
Yeah, Rick, we've talked a lot about the 42 of Kyle Larson and how he is very close in the chase standings. Well, the 6 of Trevor Bayne is also close, only 8 points behind. You see right here that urgency's there, trying to make a move to the right side of Matt DiBenedetto in the 83 car, and just it's too close, Jeff. There's just no room as the 83 comes up.
See how quick it happens. The 6 car, he just doesn't quit trying. He's trying to get on the outside, trying to make it 3 wide and take advantage of 2 cars side by side. And now we're going to talk about it.
And we're talking, and drivers use their hands a lot as far as showing exactly how the car is handling.
But you know, we talked about it before the race started. I mean, that's Bristol. I mean, that's right. What happens. Yes. I mean, you're just always pushing. You never can catch your breath. These things happen.
How about this? That's great to see. You know, Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott getting an opportunity to chat a little bit in the middle of a race. Kyle took the top spot away from Chase Elliott. Elliott looked so strong early, using that bottom line to be able to get by Denny Hamlin for the lead.
Well, that's what's going to happen. As you see right here, the big Joe Gibbs contingent, along with the other Toyota of Martin Truex, all getting together. We've had a quick 38-lap test. Now the drivers know what the track feels like, what their cars feel like. They can compare. As you see here, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Carl Edwards comparing what the start was for their automobile. I'm sure the next conversation these drivers are going to have are going to be with their engineers and their crew chief, coming up with a plan already. We guessed this way. Did we guess right? Which direction do we need to go with our car as we make it through later in the evening?
Pretty impressive. 2 young drivers, Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney, up in the top 3. Let's hear from Blaney. He's with Parker.
That's right, Rick. And actually, you got to the bottom very quickly on the start. It didn't look like the bottom had the grip right away, but then it came to you. Just talk about that start and getting up to third.
Yeah, I picked the wrong lane. I should have stayed up top and got a run on some more guys. I let Chase get by me, and the bottom didn't have as much fire on speed as I thought. But then it got rolling pretty good, and we were really good on the bottom. Just pretty loose right there, and now we were just starting to swing the other way. So I feel like the top was coming in a little bit right there. We'll see where it goes after the track gets cooled off again and everyone kind of resets. But I think our Virginia Tech Bork Fusion is pretty good. Just long ways to go. Try to guess where the rain's going to come, and hopefully we get going again soon.
Ryan Blaney in third right now. Mike?
Parker, kind of a special day for Tony Stewart, no doubt. His final race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And on lap 14, all the fans in the grandstand held up this card with his number on it. Tony, I don't know if you saw it, but one heck of a tribute.
I didn't, to be honest. We're so loose right now. I'm having a hard time just staying where I want to be on the racetrack. So, but that's pretty cool. I'm sure I'll get to see it on a replay or something. But that's a huge honor. So this is such a cool racetrack that I'm sad it's my last one here. But we've had some pretty good memories here.
What's the track been like?
Well, it's been really, really loose up off the corner right now. So I think once we get more than 25 laps, the track will start settling in again, and we'll get going.
I want to make sure you take this with you. You hang it up on your wall, okay?
Yeah, I'll sleep with it beside my bed tonight. Appreciate it.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, buddy.
You know, you heard Tony talk about he'll miss this racetrack. I mean, when you are retiring, there are some racetracks that you just love, that you have a passion for, and that you will really miss. And the overall scheme of things, it's time for you to retire for whatever reason, but there are some racetracks that just mean so much to you, and this is one of those racetracks for Tony.
Well, and it sounds like he's been busy early. Sounds like his car is very loose, but as a wily veteran, he knows, you know, we'll get a little more than 25 laps in and see where the track's going. Concrete racetracks, there's something about them that they just never seem to start with grip. I don't know what it is, whether it's a pace car rides during the day or the sun sitting on them or just the dust that sets on them, but they never seem to have the grip when the race starts.
Yeah.
I want to introduce the super fan. He doesn't know he's about to get
who is that?
drug on camera.
Okay, who is
He's
that?
with Toyota. This is Osaka. Who's your favorite driver?
Denny Hamilton. Do the other Toyota drivers know that?
They know, right? That you're my
They do know? Okay, now everybody knows.
Yeah, he knows. So
Wait, look, Matt Kenseth, what?
Denny Hamlin? Yeah. That's not what you said 10 minutes ago.
We have created a Toyota controversy. Good job, Denny. Way to create a controversy. You get the bosses involved, and now you've created a controversy. Good job, Denny. Fist pumping over here. So we've created a Toyota controversy down here, Rick.
Timing is everything. Denny trying to put a fan on, on camera and kind of put him on the spot, and Matt Kenseth called him out.
And I think the other 36 teams, the non-Toyota teams, look at this. Maybe this is the division they're looking for because they've been trying to beat Joe Gibbs Racing. Right now, I'd be over there spreading rumors. Well, a minute ago, it was Kyle Busch.
Oh, he's going to let him back in the hauler, though, I bet. Such fun.
And he was just on the track, obviously, with the rest of the field tonight. So DJ talked about how it may not be as grippy as we had hoped it would be. What did you experience? Careful, teammates behind, eating. That's another thing you do in a rain delay. What was the experience like there, Eric, on the track?
The first few laps were pretty slick down there, and then as it heated up, it started to get grippier and tackier, and the bottom lane started to go. I moved to the top at one point. I seen some guys making progress up there, and I lost about 3 or 4 spots, so I just committed back to the bottom. And I don't know what my teammate's doing behind me.
Does he have a mustard sponsorship now or something?
Yeah, he's got ham rolled up, putting mustard on it. So at least he's got Smithfield ham.
There you go.
He's doing better than I am at.
So you know a little bit from rosin, though, because you used to pitch.
I do. I pitched and played shortstop all the way up to high school, and so as any young kid that watches their idols, most pitchers in the major leagues, they have a rosin bag at the back of the mound. So I'm pretty familiar with what rosin is. It definitely grips up your hands to throw the baseball, and so when you put it on a racetrack, it grips up.
Let's keep talking food. Brian, you're welcome to come back and eat food and talk food if you want, because we have to talk about your time with the King today here at the track and your friends from Waffle House. So what'd you get done?
I'm pretty angry, actually, that our truck driver Spanky put away all the waffle irons. We must have cooked about 430, strategic number, but 430 waffles, and we gave away I don't know how many pounds of Smithfield bacon today at the racetrack this morning. So, but he put it all away. I don't know if we ran out of batter or what, but a peanut butter waffle right now with some bacon would be really good.
I think that'd be good. You seem to be more in the pork product mustard category, Brian.
Yeah, I was having a little snack. I was wishing that we had the waffle maker out right now. Might be a long night, but I'm hopeful we get it in.
We could lobby Spanky to get the waffle iron back out.
Spanky needs to fire up the grill.
We'll get him next.
I have no idea where he is. He's probably sleeping in the truck if I know Spanky.
Spanky to the 43 hauler, Spanky to the 43 hauler. Brian, so your experience on the track so far, which line was working for you?
The middle groove was definitely the better groove, or the outside groove to start the race. I think we were able to make some positions there. Then the bottom groove started coming in, and then it looked like there right before the rain, the top groove was starting to kind of work in again. So I think we're going to see the lane move around a bunch, which will be exciting. I think you'll see kind of even on restarts, and then you'll want to start moving around to suit your car. If your car's tight, you'll go one way. If it's loose, you'll go the other. But you should be able to pass. It'll be exciting.
Adaptability seems to be the key here, whether it's food or the track at Bristol, right?
Is that a real word? Are you sure that's a real word? Adaptability?
Folks at home, look it up. Tweet us. Let us know if that's a real word or not. So if we do get...
To adapt.
So you think it's like a whole English thing, not the word adaptability?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Eric's probably right. Parker?
You know who put on a show back in the spring here at the Bristol Motor Speedway? This guy, Matt DiBenedetto. A career-best sixth-place finish, perhaps the most emotional interview we saw post-race all season long. Take me back to that moment. What did that mean to you?
Oh my gosh, I can't even explain how much that meant to us as a team. That was BK Racing's best finish ever, my career best finish. That was a win for us at BK Racing. And, I was a little worried because I was pretty emotional. I was really emotional in my speech afterwards right there. And I was a little worried. I was like, man, I kind of looked a little girly in my speech. I just kind of broke down. I couldn't hold it together. Having my family there, my wife, my brother from the military. And but afterwards, it was so cool to see how much everybody shared that emotion with us. I mean, I had people texting and tweeting me saying, hey, don't worry, we cried with you. So it was so cool to have that much support from the fans.
You looked human. It gave us an appreciation for how much this means to you.
Yeah, that was an incredible day. I mean, I've worked my whole life, day and night. This is all I live, eat, sleep, breathe to get in the Sprint Cup Series. It's been a dream since I was a kid. And I come from a humble background. I didn't have a big sponsor to bring, nothing other than, my helmet, fire suit, and ability to drive a race car, which is tough nowadays because this is a business. And for me to have gotten here, I feel like is the equivalent of winning the lottery 2 times in a row, if not more. So I'm just fortunate to be here. I want to be in this garage so bad for a long time to come. So I'm just doing everything I can and driving my heart out. And that day was unbelievable because I feel like it was a big day for my career. And I hope that we showed, that we as a team are growing. And I hope that I showed that I can be in this series for a long time to come.
So what's it like to come back here after that?
Amazing. I was excited to come back here. We've had some rough luck since last Bristol. Had some good runs going, some fast cars, some races where we could have finished top 15, which are, great days for us. And since then, things have just, it happens in all sports. My dad called it the sophomore jinx, like baseball. We've had some tough luck, but it happens just as much as you can have a bad string of luck. It can turn right around. We could have a great day here coming back to my racetrack that I should probably marry because it's been so good to me in the past.
Speaking of marriage, I believe you were with your bride during driver intros. They were interesting. Give me an explanation.
Yeah, so there it is. Hey, I got the wig. We should do, we need to do the interview.
All right, we're bringing back to the moment here for Matt DiBenedetto. Obviously, that's how he came out with his wife during driver introductions, and that's a pretty good look for you, I got to say.
Hey, thanks. I'm glad everybody's been complimenting me. My team said it's going to be a little hard to drive with that on, but, I feel like I look okay like this, so if this is worth some speed, I'll do whatever it takes. The funny thing about it, in all seriousness, we had a choreographed dance planned, and we requested second 33 to 54. They didn't do it. We went out and we were all confused because they didn't do it at the time slot that we requested. My wife and I, it was our wedding dance, was Taylor Swift Shake It Off. We have a full choreographed dance, and we were going to do a section of it for the fans here. But we didn't get to do it, but they caught me on the Colossus here actually doing it out on pit road. They requested me to do a part of the dance, so it was kind of embarrassing. But, for the fans during this rain delay, if I can provide any entertainment, glad to do it.
Can you do the dance for us right now?
If you're,
I'm not gonna. Maybe we can bring somebody over here. Maybe bring a fan. How about you? Can you volunteer? Perhaps. No.
Right
we need. Oh, this is your wife?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Come on in. Come on in. Here we go. You guys did not get your moment during driver intros, but how about on national TV instead? All right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's just pretend you hear the music.
Come on, guys.
And go.
Start with the spin. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's gonna be all right. Clap, 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 and the player's gonna play, 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 and the hater's gonna hate, 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 hate. I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake it off, shake it off. That's it.
Krista, I'll let you follow that.
There is no way to follow that, Mike. As we were watching and we were trying, you guys were just talking about that, and we said, come on, do it. And then that was exciting because I was hoping his wife was there so that we could see. Now, I don't know if your wedding song should be Shake It Off.
That's excellent.
I think, probably. I'm just going to. Okay,
I'm so excited right now that just happened.
His sister-in-law cuts my hair, Casey.
Okay.
And I think that she would not have approved of the way the wig looked there. I think he should have got it in a little better case. So Casey, you'll have to work on that with Matt.
Yeah, and let me say.
I don't even know if we should open this up to you.
No.
This could go any direction. direction right now.
Listen, I grew up with Denny DeTerio's, dance stuff and Soul Train and all that stuff. That's no Soul Train right there. Let me just go ahead and say that. That was just a little bit. But at the same time, I have to say this. Obviously, how do I phrase it? It takes a lot of something to drive a race car, and obviously he has it because he just did that on national
I know,
TV.
and sang.
Okay.
Did the dance,
And sang.
did it all with the wig.
And sang. I don't even know where to go with this.
And the engines are fired, meaning they're getting ready to roll back out onto the racetrack. See if the rain will stay away long enough to get a little momentum built up. Again, Kyle Busch has led the most laps, 16. Chase Elliott was out front for 14 laps. Denny Hamlin led the other 8 laps that have been completed. And you get a glimpse of the dash for Denny Hamlin and some of these drivers, all different. It doesn't look like anyone has a similar dash configuration as far as the new electronic dashes. Caution is out. The red flag has been put away, and so the cars are rolling off of pit road. A great sign for especially people that have waited it out a little over an hour and 22 minutes. A red flag condition for this race as Denny Hamlin climbs right up the racetrack.
And you talk about waiting it out. Remember, these drivers, it's a night race, and these drivers are only 39 laps into a race, and it's late already. I mean, it's 10:45, quarter to 11. They've been waiting to race all day. They've been in the car, out of the car. Now they're getting ready to get going again. They're ready to race. And like Marty talked about, they know rain's in the area. They know more is coming. Could we get to halfway? Can you get to halfway? And can you position yourself? So the combination of waiting all day, having to get out of the car, if these drivers, when they drop the green flag, it's going to get very aggressive.
Aggressive? How about chaotic?
The two go together at this racetrack.
Drivers will roll around the track for just a little bit here as they will make an attempt at drying pit road, because if cars do have to make their way onto pit road, they want to make sure that that surface is dry as well. So the crews will be working on that. They'll send the Air Titans and jet dryers down there also to help with that.
I think NASCAR does a really good job of. The drivers have a tremendous amount of faith and trust in NASCAR getting the racetrack dry. You have to. When you sail down into turn 1 the first time they drop the green flag, you have to know the track's dry. And NASCAR does a really, really good job of never releasing the cars, never dropping the green flag unless the track is dry. There have been some occasions where it rained, they dropped the green flag and it rained all of a sudden quickly, but drivers really trust NASCAR to make sure the track's ready.
So the drivers and crews were told at the drivers meeting that there would be a competition caution at lap 60. And what that means is NASCAR was letting the teams know that for sure there would be a caution that came out at lap 60. And at that time, the teams could come to pit road, they could check the tire wear, and they could add fuel. If a caution came out prior to lap 60, no teams were allowed to add fuel to the cars, but they could come and make any adjustments, changes, tires to the car. They just were not allowed to add fuel, and that's normal for a competition caution. And NASCAR has let us know that the competition caution will actually be longer than lap 60. It will come after lap 60, but until we get back to green flag conditions, they don't know exactly when that will be. So they will convey that to the teams as soon as we get back to green flag racing.
See all the cars. NASCAR always asks the cars to follow the pace car. The pace car is in the top lane. They want the race cars to go in the top lane to try to dry it. But if you're in the bottom lane, like Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards, knowing you're going to have to restart in the bottom lane, where are you going to go? And you see the 21, also a Blaney. Those guys are on the bottom. They want to get that rosin worked in. They want to get some heat in that because they're going to have to restart the bottom. So it's not unusual at all to see drivers go into the lane that they want to clean off before the green flag gets dropped.
Are you telling me that they're not going to follow instruction?
On a lap-by-lap basis.
I'd give them corner by corner.
And again, NASCAR added a rosin. It was a sticky, it's almost like pine tar or a tar that they put on the bottom of the racetrack about 18 to 24 inches on the bottom of the racetrack to try to add grip to the bottom so that drivers could hug the bottom of this racetrack. There's progressive banking. It goes from 24 degrees all the way up to 28 degrees at the top of the track. The preferred line has been moving up to the top of the track in the recent years. NASCAR wanted to see if they could get a preferred line down at the bottom of the track as well, and so they added the rosin. It worked fairly well for the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series last night. We'll see how well it works when we go back to racing at Bristol. Stay with us. That's pretty good. A few raindrops falling there in front of the pace car, as we saw. And there have been things that haven't gone well for Rusty Wallace, and Jeff Gordon was involved at this racetrack. Pushed out of the way in 1997.
And this is the move you used to have to make. This is 2002, Rick. There was only one lane, so if the car in front of you was in it and you needed it, you had to move him out of the groove.
Jeff was good at that. 5-time winner, and as I mentioned, the rain looked to be coming back, and it is pouring once again. Absolutely pouring. The jet dryers are still on pit road, so they're going to have a little bit of trouble getting to pit road here as soon as the jet drivers will move out of the way. I'm sure that's the direction they will head back.
It's raining hard enough now. In all seriousness, the drivers are going to have to really be careful. Remember, these are slicks.
Yes.
And they're going to have to really slow down, and there is no grip whatsoever. I know they're going 5 miles an hour, but we've seen cars slide into other cars in these kind of conditions. When it started raining, it started pouring.
And as a crew chief, you're already worried about the mechanical side of the car. Remember, there are no side windows in here, so this water is pouring in both the driver's side through the window net and the passenger side. It could get on the radios, get on the electronics, could go down the cowl into the engine through the throttle body. So you have concern where all this moisture is going to end up.
And once again, the field being brought onto pit road, following after the pace car. The track has been covered. It was a deluge. It came down about as hard as it's come down tonight, and we thought the cell was going to get to us. It did a little bit quicker than was anticipated. And take another look at the radar. This cell that's right above us right now, you see a little bit of orange there, as it was raining hard for a moment. It's still raining fairly hard, and you can see that it looks like it might keep going for quite some time here. Moving right through the Bristol Motor Speedway area, and the teams once again will cover the cars back up. They gave it a valiant effort. The track was dry. The cars were fired up. They were making a few laps. Officially, they made 10.
See how they placed the umbrella.
Yeah, the umbrellas.
Steve talked about, trying to keep the inside of the cars dry, and that's where the radio is. The radio is on that left side door. Just trying to keep that water outside of the race car.
Clint Boyer trying to get back onto pit road and stopped once again. And once again, the red flag comes out. And again, that was last night. We're back live. It is coming up on 11:24 Eastern time. We want to let you know that it has officially been called for the evening. We will try to race tomorrow afternoon. That will be on CNBC, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race from Bristol, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on CNBC. So a night race has now become a day race. It'll be a Sunday afternoon race from Bristol. The weather looks a lot better for tomorrow, and we're very hopeful for that. But again, the rains have continued on, and because of the length of the race that is still in front of us, NASCAR has decided that it would be best to move to tomorrow afternoon. So once again, 1 p.m. Eastern time on CNBC for tomorrow's race. And guys, we've gone from a Saturday night race to a Sunday afternoon race. Again, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern on CNBC. You can see the conclusion of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race from Bristol.